Congressman Trey Radel is a Republican of Florida. He was arrested in Washington, D.C. at the end of October for possession of cocaine. Interesting. And the news just broke today, even though it happened a little while ago. Now, his record on the issue of drugs is kind of mixed. So this is where it gets even more fascinating. He co-sponsored a law that seeks to end mandatory minimum sentences that often send people to jail with a conviction no worse than drug possession. And he has also spoken extensively about the need to reform the way the United States copes with drug problems. He said that we should get back to, quote, institutional support versus just, gee, how many kilos of cocaine have we seized today? Funny that he mentioned cocaine in that as the drug of choice there and no other one. Maybe it was some sort of foreshadowing. Now, the flip side of this is that he said he opposed legalizing marijuana in a debate back in April, which I guess is no surprise for a Republican, and for Democrats too. None of them have really taken up this mantle of arguing for drug legalization, even though the polls on this are on our side as well. 58% of Americans want to legalize drugs also, but no Democrat has even taken the metaphorical plunge on this issue, the good plunge, if you will. So there's the hypocrisy of that, and also, this one's even worse, he voted for a House bill that would have required all recipients of SNAP, also known as food stamps, to undergo drug testing. So anybody who received a government benefit, particularly food stamps, we got to drug test you to make sure that, you're not spending money on drugs while you're hungry and in poverty. If there was ever a group of people who should buy drugs to forget about their poverty and their hunger and the fact that there's very few jobs and opportunity out there, it would be the poor. They should have drugs. There, I said it. Everybody should be allowed to have it. It's a matter of freedom, in my opinion. So there was that hypocrisy as well. And he since released a statement on this issue saying, quote, I'm profoundly sorry to let down my family, particularly my wife and son, and the people of Southwest Florida. I struggle with the disease of alcoholism, and this led to an extremely irresponsible choice. As the father of a young son and a husband to a loving wife, I need to get help so I can be a better man for both of them. In facing this charge, I realize the disappointment my family, friends, and constituents must feel. Believe me, I am disappointed in myself, and I stand ready to face the consequences of my actions. However, this unfortunate event does have a positive side. It offers me an opportunity to seek treatment and counseling. I know I have a problem and will do whatever is necessary to overcome it, hopefully setting an example for others struggling with this disease. Please keep my family in your prayers. Now, I don't want to speak too specifically to Congressman Trey Radel's case, because maybe he actually does have a problem. Drug abuse does exist. It's not a totally mythical being. In many cases, it is mythical, but you have to look at it on an individual case-by-case basis to determine who actually has a problem versus who is just recreational. But they say they have a problem, just to tell people, oh, I'm a good person. See, I don't like the fact that I recreationally use drugs. But I have to say, I am just itching for just once. I want somebody to be the martyr for this issue and say what they really feel. Again, he may, actually believe this, in which case he should get help and all that stuff if he actually has an addiction problem. But take, what's his face? Michael Phelps, for example, when he got caught smoking weed and he had this profuse apology. I'm so sorry I smoked weed even though I won like 1,042 different gold medals. Just once somebody should say, hey, fuck off. If anybody should smoke weed, it's me. I earned it. I won all these gold medals. Go away. Just once, I want somebody with a position of power like a congressman to say, hey, how many senators and representatives went out last night and got shit-faced on tequila and rum and bourbon and beer, but nobody says anything about them. In fact, they don't bat an eyelash. That might even make them get a boost in the polls because they look like a regular guy. But if I decide to take a different substance, now all of a sudden I'm a criminal, and now I have to say, oh, I have a disease, and I know I have a problem. Well, look, not all drug use is a problem. I would say the overwhelming majority of people that use almost all drugs are simply doing it recreationally and doing it responsibly. And it shows me that we haven't advanced that much, and we're not all that enlightened yet when somebody has to come forward and, you know, do a huge mea culpa for practicing their freedom and taking whatever substance and putting it in their body that they want to. And again, I get it. The guy has a mixed record on the drug war and on drug laws. He's better than other hypocrites. We've seen much more brazen hypocrisy from people. But I get it if you want to focus on the hypocrisy and say that's absurd. I'll do it right along with you. I just hate the apologetic tone of people when they get caught with something that is a matter of personal freedom and liberty.